Hey guys, so you guys know I'm always doing little tweaks and fine tuning to my campers, and this Honda Element Teardrop style camper is no different. So today we're going to do a little tweak to what I had before, and I think it'll work out even better. Okay, so what we're going to try today is this
FSYBot.
power station. And I know what you guys are thinking. I already have a power station. What do I need with another one? But like I said, I am fine tuning it. And every build is a little bit different. And I think this might match my current build even better than the current solution I have. So let's open it up and take a look at it. All right. So it comes with this case. Let's see what's in here. Okay, all the cables you need. So this you can plug into your cigarette lighter and charge through your cigarette lighter. It will be a slower charge. Keep that in mind. Okay, so this will be like solar panel type connectors that'll connect into your system. And of course, the wall plug. If you want a real fast charge, use the wall plug. Or if you're camped somewhere and you got shore power, plug it into the wall. Make your life easy. All right, so this is a 1800 watt system, and you might be surprised at the size because if it's 1800 watts and it's this small, let's give it a
If you
shot.
look at the manual, it looks like you could actually use this as a UPS too, as a battery backup. Like if you wanted to use it on your computer system and you want to make sure your power doesn't go out, you can actually use it as a UPS backup. That's pretty cool.
All right, look at that. Just for reference, you can see this is not a very big unit at all. It's actually really quite compact. And I'm really surprised it can handle up to 1800 watts. But here's the key. For this system, the key is that the vents are in the front. That's what I need. My current system has the vents on the side, which worked fine, but it's not as optimal for my current setup. So the vents are here and back here. That's exactly where I need it. The plugs are back here, just where I need it. And the plugs are, the ports are in the front here, exactly like I need, okay? So it's got the cigarette adapter type. There's a little light right here. Power that up. So we could turn on the light. You can see the light flash. Okay, so there's two USB-C ports, and these are 140 watt ports. Again, that's important for me because I do run my CPAP. I do need about 100 watts. It has two C types and the regular USB-A type right here, okay? So you turn on and off the USB ports right here. And here, there's a neat switch right here too. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, but right here, you see there's a little input switch. So what's neat is that, see that, it's 400 watts right now. I could control the amount of input, and there's even equal. So that if you want to charge your battery slower, it extends the life of your battery. If you're not always charging really fast, your batteries will die sooner. That's just the life of the battery. So the slower the charge, the more battery life you'll have. And this allows you to adjust that, the input. So I haven't seen this feature on any other power stations. A lot of them advertise really fast charging, but what if you don't want really fast charging and you don't need it charged really fast? If you want to just extend the life of your battery, this allows you to do that. So that's pretty neat. So you plug it into the wall, and you're going to wait overnight anyway. Why do you need to charge it super fast? Just charge it on the slow mode, the eco mode, and you can extend the life of your battery a little bit longer. Okay, on the other side, again, this is important to me that these ports are on this side too, because that's the way I designed my camper. But this is the solar input right here. Here's your regular wall plug input. And here are your plugs, and you turn it on and off here. Another really neat thing about this port right here and this power station is what I'm allowed to do is I'm allowed to connect a battery right here. I could connect a battery here so that I would basically have an auxiliary battery. And you guys know I do have 2 batteries in my car, one in here, one in the power station, and one standalone battery. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But for right now, let's install this where my current one is and see how it fits. All right, so here's my current one. So what I didn't like about this one is that the vents are on the sides. And if you look over here, you can see there's some covering of the vents. There's 2. So this vent is still good. So there's 2 holes, one over here and one over there. Same on this side, one here and one here. So when the seats are in certain angles, it might cover up one vent, and you know that's not ideal. It's still fine because there's still the other vent and it blows. It's fine, but this also has the ports all on the proper side, just like the other one. So that's good. Just look on the front here. I built this little stand for it and with a cup holder, but my new one should be able to be swapped out and I could use it the exact same way. So let's try it. So let's compare the 2 sizes. Look at that. This one's significantly smaller than this one over here, the one I'm replacing. You know, having a smaller unit does have its drawbacks. The battery is smaller, so it'll run out a little bit sooner. That's the bigger the battery, the longer it'll last you. But this one does allow that auxiliary battery. And if you remember, in my camper, I have a battery underneath here. Let me show that to you. So under here, if you remember, I have that lead time really flat battery. It's 100 amp hour, so it's a big size big battery, but it's flat. And that's why I'm able to put it underneath in such a small form factor. And this is where I keep my bed platform. But I could connect that battery to my new unit that'll go there. So let's try it. Oh boy, that's really small. All right, so let's look at the size here. And remember, I made this to fit the old unit. So you can see it's shorter than the old unit, and there's more room for me to put up my handbrake on this unit. So it's just have to pull it back a little bit for when I want to use my handbrake because it's a smaller unit. So that's perfect. That's going to work out really well. And again, it'll still be used as an armrest. And maybe what I'll do is I might even make the cup holder a little bit bigger, and you know, maybe 2 cup holders because I have the space for it. I put that all the way forward. I have some gap back there. Okay, so I could actually put this wall a little bit further back and even have 2 cup holders now. But that's a different story. Let's try out this unit for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my ports right here. And what I already have my solar ports. All right, I needed both hands to plug it in, but there, I got that plugged in. And here I have my power ports, and I have my plug right here that goes into a power strip, and that's underneath the car, underneath this seat right here. And that goes like that, real nice and neat. You can see when I pull it up, this is the stopper so it doesn't slide forward or anything like that, but you can see there's no vents here. The vents are right here, which is perfect for me and my needs. And that looks like it belongs. The color matches and everything. That's good. Okay, let's go looking back here. You can see I made this to the size and shape of the other one, and I have some extra room too. So it's even smaller. So I might trim this down just to fit this a little bit better, and then we'll bring it back, something like that, and I'll trim down the edges and trim down the wood. But yeah, that's looking really good. Looks like it's going to fit really well. And again, I could connect this battery to that, and I could use this exact same port, because what it does is it uses the same port as your solar charger. So essentially what it does, I believe, is it takes the battery that's in here and it uses that battery to recharge this. So it's not really running this stuff, it's just recharging the current battery that's here. So it's only 30 amps or something like that, but 30 amps is quite a bit. So I would use that same port and I would connect it to this battery right here, which is being charged by my solar panel. So my solar panel is, in a sense, charging this battery is charging this battery. And I would only have, that one solar battery connection in that case. Right now I have two, one for this guy and one for this battery in here. But I'll decide how I want to connect that in the future. But for now, let's power this up, and you could see I'm getting 128 watts or so input from my solar panels. Charging this right now, it's at 29% and it's charging. And so I could turn the input to max out at whatever. But again, when you're connected to solar panels, my solar panel is less than that input, so that's not really going to be an issue. So let's turn it back to 400 watts for the input. And now it's resetting and it'll start charging again. So, I don't need to worry about this unless I have it plugged into shore power, because, I'm not going to get 800 watts from my solar panel. That's not going to be a problem. All right, looks good. The screen is nice and big, and in the middle of the night, if I need a little bit of light down here, that will work out very nicely for some lights on the bottom. All right. Okay, so let's test this baby out, and you guys know what I usually test it out is a microwave, but today I'm going to try something different. So if you've been keeping up, you guys know I don't even have a microwave in this build, but I do have this automatic coffee maker. You just put beans in it and water. It grinds it up for you. It puts it in the thing, and then you just get your coffee grounds here and you throw it out. That's it. So it's a super automatic. Let's try it out. All right, remember I told you guys I have my power strip that's underneath the car, and we're going to plug in that coffee maker. And don't forget to turn on the AC power. All right, you can hear it. There's a fan going. I can feel a slight breeze from the fan. Okay, now it shuts off because it's not being used. Not being needed right now, but that's powered on. The lights are on. So let's give it a shot. All right, again, as a reference, we're at 29% right now. Okay, push the button. Sorry. The coffee you add from up here, and it just grinds the coffee for you. Okay, so let's go look at how much power it's taking right now. All right, you can see it. It's fluctuating anywhere from 1200 watts, as it's heating up and stuff. So it's not going to be consistent. It's an induction heating, so it's going to be real fast. So roughly around 1250 peak watts. Not too bad at all. And you can see it's already going down to 27%. All right, now I have a nice frothy cup of coffee. Let me show you the grounds. There's my little ground that it punches out. Let's see what the total power consumption is for making this cup of coffee. Okay, it's still at 27%. Oops, get that display back up. So it's at 27%. So roughly around 2% for one cup of coffee that I make. And there's a lot of coffees to be had for this power station. And it's mainly what the biggest power hog that I have in this car is that coffee maker. And you could see it spikes to 1200 watts. So that's just, as much as my microwave. My microwave will spike to around 1100 watts. So that's good. The vents are right here where they need to be. The plugs are right here, my USB ports, and my power ports on the other side. So that's perfect. So this morning, instead of having a Miller time, I'm going to have a coffee time. Yeah, it's definitely hot. And I think it's going to work great for my coffee maker and my camper in general. Hook up that extra battery to give it a little bit more life. And I think it's pretty good.